In the Back of the Book segment tonight, Nation of Islam leader Louis Farrakhan unleashed his vile rhetoric during a speech Saturday at the University of California, Berkeley. He was the keynote speaker at a Black Coalition conference there. Take a listen to some of his remarks.
Anybody that's not a friend of the Jewish community was never written of well in history. That's true, because they're the publishers. They're the writers. So if you want to be well spoken of, then be a lackey. Be a flunky. Be a tool in the oppression of your people, and they'll always speak well of you.
What's even more shocking than this hateful speech is that the president of UC Berkeley, Mark Yudof, defended Farrakhan's right to speak at the school, saying that we cannot retreat from the value of free speech. Joining us now from Los Angeles, Jasmyne Cannick, a political commentator who defends Reverend Farrakhan's right to speech. Jasmyne, let me just first say that I'm one of these crazy people who believes that more speech is better. I like more speech. I don't like the idea of pushing boycotts on people. I don't like the idea of shouting down people. I don't like it when people have pies thrown at them, as conservative speakers have had. Yet I'm also curious about the Black student group highlighting him at this Black, I guess, coalition conference. Why is he the keynote speaker, and why does he represent, I guess it would seem, a more mainstream view of how to get along and how to make it in society for African Americans?
Well, first, I'd say, Laura, why not? It is their choice as an organization to bring in who they want to bring in as a speaker. And obviously, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan speaks to a lot of African Americans in terms of their beliefs as Black people. So I think...
What in particular, Jasmyne, just so we understand? Because people have heard about him, but we obviously know he's extremely homophobic, he's extremely anti-Semitic. His comments have been reprehensible over the years. He talked about, you can't sugarcoat things, so you have to get along with your former slave masters, quoted in the Daily Californian. So I guess all of us are his former slave masters, which I find to be sad and reprehensible. But why how do African Americans bond with that?
First of all, you may find that to be sad and reprehensible, but there is a large segment of not only African Americans, but people in America who do believe that way as well. So I think you have to put everything into context. He speaks to a certain group of people, like any spiritual leader or religious leader who has their following. He has a following of people who do believe in that ideology, who look up to him, and who do want to hear what he has to say. As far as the students are concerned, I think they're looking at it from a point of view of, one, Black empowerment. You know, the Honorable Minister Farrakhan, he speaks of Black empowerment. And while you guys in the media, a lot of people will pick and choose sort of different things that he said, the overall theme of everything he spoke about at Berkeley was Black empowerment.
Right, Jasmyne, do you agree with his point of view that the Jews control the media? Because he also has referred to that. And clearly, if you go against the Jews, they control the media. So basically, you're up against you know, a wall. That's his point. Do you agree with that?
What I agree with is his right to say that. Unlike other folks who are saying more problematic things over public airwaves, Minister Louis Farrakhan is a private citizen, and more than that, he's a preacher.
Wait a second. He's a private citizen?
He is a private citizen. He's a spiritual leader.
Well, he's not a public figure? Well, New York Times versus Sullivan wouldn't indicate that he was a private citizen.
He's not a reverend, he's a minister, and he's a private citizen.
Jasmyne, he has put himself out there, one at a time, otherwise we don't have a dialogue. But Jasmyne, he's put himself out there on some of the most controversial viewpoints. By the way, I think he should be allowed to speak. I disagree with his speech. I think it is reprehensible. But and you're saying that, like, he's a private citizen, so what, he shouldn't be criticized for what he said? I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, he's basically saying the Jews control everything. Us former slave masters are still trying to keep us down, and making a variety of comments about homosexuals that an enormous segment of society find to be reprehensible. And suddenly he's supposed to get, like, a pass for all of this because you call him the Honorable. First of all, why is he the Honorable? I don't know that. He's a reverend, but why is he the Honorable?
Okay, my turn? Okay, first of all, he is a private citizen. He's also a spiritual leader, okay? Second of all, you know, you can take a peek in any church, you know, in any town USA, and, you know, I guarantee you there's somebody who's going to have a problem with something that's being said. Thirdly, you know, as I said before, as it relates to free speech, you know, unlike other people, he is not broadcasting over public airwaves. And when you say he puts himself out there, no, the media puts him out there.
When he does the Million Man March, his goal is to be a private citizen. So when he speaks at the Million Man March, that had, you know, 400,000 people or whatever in Washington. His goal was to be private.
It had 1 million people.
That doesn't make any sense.
Over 1 million people.
Okay, I was actually there. I don't think it was quite that much. But nevertheless, I think people should have the right to speak, so we agree on that. Absolutely. Jasmyne, we appreciate